Hi, in this video I want to chat about something I get asked a lot, the fuel consumption of my 1996 Toyota Prado 95 series. This is 3.4 litre V6 petrol with automatic gearbox. No Toyota Land Cruiser is known for good fuel mileage, and I knew this before I bought this one, but I paid a very good price. It had a full service history, and I've driven this one now for 50,000 kilometers over 2.5 years, so I know what the fuel consumption is like. Now I also write down every time I fill up. I always fill the tank full and I write down the kilometers and the liters consumed so I can calculate it. And overall, if I average it out over all the fill-ups, and this is mixed town driving, highway, long distance, rugged off-road, I get 6.7 kilometers per liter. I'll put the miles per gallon on the screen and the liters per 100 kilometers for those of you who can figure that out. Anyway, so 6.7 I don't think is that bad, because if you buy a more modern 4x4, getting 9 or 10 kilometers per liter is actually very good, but then you have a high payment and insurance, and it ends up costing you more anyways because it still uses diesel or fuel or whatever. So I think 6.7 is not that bad. Now, last year we went to Mozambique for a week and a half. I did 3 full ups. So this is quite a big tank. I think it's 90 liters plus the 60 liter reserve tank. And I did 3 fill-ups and I averaged 8 kilometers per liter. Now then, on that trip, we averaged between 80 and 90 kilometers per hour because of all those small towns that had police stops. So you have to slow down all the way to 40 or 60 and sometimes 40 kilometers per hour. So I averaged, I think, about 80. And that made a huge difference. So I averaged 8 kilometers per liter for 3 fill-ups. Then in town, sometimes if you don't drive carefully, you just hit the gas. It's got a nice growl to it. I get about 6 kilometers per liter. I think the worst I ever got was 5.5, but that was driving down to Cape Town, 2,000 kilometers. We were quite late, doing 100, just slightly over the speed limit, say 130 kilometers per hour. So that made it a bit more heavy. I had the roof rack on but empty, so I think the wind resistance played a role, but I rarely see anything below 6 kilometers per liter. But I think 6.5 is about average that I expect on this one. And then if I drive carefully, say 100 kilometers per hour average, I can get 7 quite comfortably. But as soon as you overtake a couple of times and it shifts down and you just really gun it comes down quite a bit. But I'd say between 6 and 7, no matter how you drive, is fair to say. Now over here I've got my brother's 1997 3.0 KZTE turbo diesel. It's the same Prado, it's almost exactly the same. You can watch this video on the only few differences between the two. And I asked him about his fuel consumption. This is what he had to say.
The fuel consumption actually varies quite a lot depending on how nicely or badly I drive. So when Tom Cruiser is fully loaded and I'm gunning it on the highway, it can be as low as 6 kilometers per liter. Obviously then there's lots of wind resistance on the top as well when I have all the stuff on the top. But if I drive sort of really carefully on the highway, sort of let's say averaging 90 or so, I can get between 7 and 8 kilometers per liter, which I think is pretty good. And then the other day I was doing game drives in the Kruger National Park, so basically averaging 25 kilometers per hour, like basically in second or third gear all the time, and I got 9.9 kilometers per liter. So it really does vary a lot, and to be honest with you, overall it's better than I thought it would be when I first bought it. To be completely honest with you, I never check my fuel consumption in town, but I'd probably guess it's probably between 7 and 8 kilometers per liter.
So that's it. There's not much in it between the two of them. I'd say about 1 kilometer per liter, depending on how you drive. 6 to 6.5 on the petrol one, and 7 to 7.5 on the diesel. And then obviously depending on the luggage you carry, the speed you travel, how fast you accelerate, it will vary from there. If you're looking at one of these, I was looking at either petrol or diesel, and on the forums people were either going for the petrol or the diesel, or a lot of them said it doesn't matter, just look at the condition, and that's exactly what I did. I was looking for a diesel, but I found a petrol one that was in stunning condition, full service history at a good price, and that's what I bought. Obviously the automatic does make it a bit heavier, but I expected much worse from a 3.4 litre V6 petrol automatic compared to the diesel, and yeah, so that's it. If you have any questions, pop it in the comments below, and even better, if you have one of these, write your fuel consumption in the comments, because that's really what we want to know. Cheers, thanks for watching.